What's going on YouTube? This is hashtag A Cool Guy, Mr. MicroMike, and I will be your host for the duration of the show. So let's jump right into the introduction so we can get into this bad boy. First is the man who Batman uses light to sky with the LukeG signal. What's going on, LukeG?
What up, though, people? Salute. Let's get it.
Secondly is the man whose words are so strong when he speaks, he can turn Medusa into stone. What up, though, Troxel?
What up, though?
Secondly is the man whose words Matthew Stafford can throw a football over 60 yards. But the next legend for tonight, Mr. Noble Sports, can throw Matthew Stafford even further. What's going on, Noble Sports?
What's popping, baby? Let's get it.
And finally, the next man is known for bowling a perfect game with a marble. What's going on, JMO?
What's up, everybody? How you doing, man? And it was half a marble actually. So, I just had to make sure you're correct. And it was two perfect games, but I ain't trying to brag.
The legend continues. Hey, JMO, can you go ahead and do some roll call for us?
Sure. We got General G Berry in the building, man. What's up, man? How you doing? We got Jay White in the building. We got George Morgan in the building. What up, though? Dre Barnes. What up, though? Dr. Dirks. What up, though? Don Bird in the building. What's up, Don? How you doing, man? Nicholas Aaron in the building. What's up? Chris Cashball in the building. What up, though? How you doing, man? We got Bull in the building.
Yeah,
we got Best Wine for Last in the building. We got 21 likes. Make sure you like the. We got 21 people in the chat. Make sure you like the video. We got Devin99 in the building. Was good. Marcus Willis in the building. Was good. What up, everybody? Yes, a lot of stuff going down. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, baby. We got some juicy stuff today, baby.
Folks, this is a show you do not want to miss. A lot of stuff happened today, and we cannot wait to talk about it. This is gonna be an awesome show, folks. So make sure that you tell everyone you know to watch the show live, or if you're not, make sure they watch it afterwards. But let's just get straight into it.
We got Kyle Webb in the building. What up, though? Lavelle Gore, Antoine in the building. What's up?
What up, though? Everyone.
Rock City in the house, baby. Rock City.
Positively Detroit in the building. Where you at, Positively, man? You got to join us one of these days.
Positive, congratulations on getting to 100, man. Everyone in the DSA is plus 100. Woo!
On the grind. I'm at 600 now. Might get 500. Positively at 100. On the grind.
Positively.
We got to get JMO to 1,000. The man has been in the game forever, and it is time for the great one to get paid. So that is our next goal, everyone.
Yay!
All right, let's get into it, man. So today it was reported that Agent Drew Rosenhaus, who represents Snacks Harrison and Slay, will be meeting with the Lions brass this week about contracts. So, Travis, what do you think about this news?
Well, I'm going to say this, okay? Now, if they do get the contracts done with what Snacks and Slay kind of liking his video or liking his tweets and things like that, now, with him doing that, does that now bring a rift between the players that were trying to get him here from day one, or does that bring a rift in the void, with them? And if it does, do we have to trade him at this point to keep the locker room intact? Because if they making all this commotion and things like that, and all these hateful words are being said, because Snacks went off. I don't know if anybody's on Twitter. I know all of us DSA members are on Twitter, and go ahead and check us all out. But I will tell you this, like what Snacks has said and things like that, like there could be a rift between like Snacks and the rest of the team. But if they could get they can make amends and get a deal done and everybody's happy and all the teammates are happy for this, then I think we got stronger.
We got Detroit's own Big Will in the building, Melvin Drew in the building, D. Williams in the building says it should be.
What up, though? What up, Detroit's own Big Will and Melvin Drew.
What up, though, fellas?
What's going on? So Trav, I like your idea. Jamo, what do you think about this in the situation that took place today with Drew Rosenhaus and Snacks and Slay?
Believe it or not, I'm not really overreacting to this at all because I'm not really sure we're gonna give them contracts. I think they're gonna come to training camp regardless. But I'm not really overreacting to this like that. It'd be nice if we could sign Snacks because I can keep Snacks on the team. He definitely, even when he's not, as good as he is now, he still can be a rotational player before we get rid of him. So I'll sign him back on the team for sure. Darius Slay, I feel like his time in Detroit is coming to an end. So I don't think I would give him an extension. But I will see what happens. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really overreacting to this like some Lions fans.
Mm-hmm.
Noble, what do you take, man? What do you think about this situation?
Man, it's clear as day, man, what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? We got two guys that got the same agent that's trying to get a deal done. And like I said before about Snacks, yes to Snacks, getting a deal done. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I can sit down and negotiate with him, I'm the GM, and I can sit down and talk to him and say, like, look, we know that you're one of the best run stoppers in the game. We know what you bring to the game. We know how you change the coach of the team on the defense. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna have some negotiation. We're gonna see what we can work out. Darius, like J-Mo said, Darius Slay. The thing with Darius is right now he's trying to bully his way to getting a new contract when he needs to actually play out the contract that he has, because pretty much he wants another contract because he see all these other corners making just a little bit more than him. And you just got to be patient, man. You know what I'm saying? You're 28 years old now, and they're going to be looking for some young guys to be able to step up and play right behind him. But Darius Slay, right now he's walking on eggshells, so he better be kind of careful because you don't want to get traded out of here. That's probably what he wants. I don't know. But at the same time, I just think that the Darius Slay situation is a question mark because, yeah, we know what Darius Slay can do. Yeah, we know he good. But at the same time, right now, is he one of our guys that's has bought into Matt Patricia? Because we need all hands on deck. We need everybody to be a part of what we're trying to do. And we're basically trying to have a special season. And right now, with him being owed pretty much $23 million, I just think that right now is not the time. I think next season is the time when you sit down with Darius Slay and say, hey, man, look, we know what you brought to the table last year. You only had a few interceptions. The year before you led the league in interception with 8 picks. So let's see what we can do as far as bringing your interceptions up a little bit. And we'll think about talking to you next season about getting you an extension. If not, you're out of here.
For real. Hey, that's a good take, man, because you'll be out of here. But
we got Joseph
Vaughn in the building. We must talk about how Chris is in the building. Don Burr, Eric Gross. What up, Doe? Everyone. Field General, the man on the field who takes care of it all. What do you think about this? What's going on in your head?
I think this is a bit of an overreaction. I mean, just because they share agents don't mean he's going there to talk about both people. I mean, he's going to attempt to talk about Darius Slay, but I think the conversation for this is really to be had for some Snacks. It's only for Snacks. And the reason I think it's for Snacks is because Snacks' contract on average does not match up to where he's giving them for the money that they're paying him. So, to me, yeah, he can go and meet with him, but this ain't the first time an agent has met with the brass of a team and they walked out and didn't get no contract. So if you asking me, I think it's a bit of an overreaction that they there. I don't think it's gonna be a matter of a rift because if they cut Snacks right now, that's what $7 million they get in free cash, no cap hit. And in the case of Darius Slay, it's a little premature. He need to understand that, okay, you got the deal that you wanted. Now you mad about the deal that you wanted and got because other people are getting paid. You're a little early on this. So, and a lot of this is happening, especially for Slay, a lot of this is happening because the new collective bargaining agreement is threatening this holdout. So players are trying to now say, okay, let me get the best deal I can get so I can have a little nest egg to the side. But the truth is this this league ain't gonna shut themselves down too long and lose billions of dollars. And we've been here before. So to me, I don't even feel like it's really news per se that he's meeting there. I think if there is a meeting, it's more so about Snack than it is for Slay. If Slay gets a new contract, it may be something where they reduce his contract. He gets one flat rate for this season, and then he can walk. So, but outside of that, I don't really think this is news. I just think at the end of the day, certain people ain't gonna be here, and it is what it is.
What up, Doe Zachary Graves? Hey, I'm with you, man. I think obviously when it comes to the agents talking to the Lions, this is due diligence work. This is something that has to get done. This also will give the Lions the ability to go ahead and tell Drew Rosenhaus, hey, this is what we're going to give up. There is going to be no negotiating after that. I'm not going to sit here and play a game with Darius Slay. We know that Snacks wanted to get a contract extension when we traded for him. Yeah. That will get done. In my eyes, they're going to tell Drew Rosenhaus, here's the deal, folks. We're not playing around. We're not going to do this holdout stuff. Again, you took a 2-year deal. You got paid, and now you're going to cry about it. That's a no-go for us. This is a business now. We don't play around here in Detroit. We're going to give you what we think it is. You're going to take it, or we're going to get rid of you. And that's the deal. Again, with Snacks, I think the deal does get done. Everyone knew when he got traded that he wanted to get a new contract. That was something that was happening with the Giants. I can guarantee you when they decided to send that 5th-round pick to the Giants, they talked about contemplating at least getting Snacks a new contract coming this season or next season. I think that was definitely part of the deal, and it was something they knew when they made that trade. So for sure, again, this is due diligence work, and also to go ahead and tell Drew Rosenhaus, hey, tell your buddy Slay, we ain't playing around. It is what it is.
Oh, we got 48 people in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video, man, so we can get this out to everybody out there, man.
Yep, we appreciate it, fellas.
And I wanted to jump on this next question because this is the real big news of the day, folks. If you did not see it, it was on ESPN's First Take, and the question of the day was, is Stafford overrated or underrated? And with all the media attention that's going to the Lions as of late, J-Mo, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this because I know you have a lot to say, and I wanted to make sure that we talked a while about this subject because this is very important. What do you think, J-Mo?
Yeah, we going to be talking about this for at least 30 minutes because I'm sure the chats are going to have a lot. I know y'all got a lot to say. Yeah. Okay, so I was just scrolling through YouTube and then I watched this. The day before, previously, Speak for Yourself. They did a little segment on Stafford. I didn't make a big hoopla like this one because it was on First Take and it just made no sense at all. Because you would expect the subject to be about what Golden Tate said about Russell Wilson, but instead they took a step further and let's just talk about Stafford. I'm like, what? Because it makes no sense. The Lions never get talked about on First Take. That might be the first time they had a segment in like years, and but it's always during the season. You feel me? It's not it's July in the summer. The Lions isn't something that you put to get ratings. Even though I'm sure a lot of people clicked on it, but one thing I want to harp on what they said before I let everybody go because I got a lot to unpack. But Max Kellerman, Will Kane, and Dominique, they all had their own opinions and ways of going about it. Will Kane and Dominique were saying that he's not overrated, and Dominique said he's underrated. Max Kellerman said he's overrated, but he said he's a good quarterback. So for the people that say Stafford is average, below average, trash QB, and hates on him, I just want everyone to know. You can watch the segment. Just like me, it's not something hard to comprehend. None of them call Stafford anything less than a good quarterback and a franchise quarterback. So put a little bit of respect on his name. But I just can't believe they talking about it, man. And I can't believe it was positive. I would expect all three of them to say he's overrated.
Yep, absolutely, man.
Yeah, like I said, I got a lot. I'm gonna let y'all go.
Troxel, because this is going to keep going.
I did a whole video. Make sure y'all catch that on my channel if y'all haven't already.
This is going to constantly go. We're going to have a big debate on this one. Trox, what do you think, man?
Well, first and foremost, I will be making a video on this as well tonight. And I'm going to feel bad for my table.
Yeah, I do.
Because because Max, what he said was complete blasphemy. Like I could not believe the words that was coming out of his mouth. Now, I believe J-Mo did say that like this was kind of the first negative type of light he did give Stafford. Is that true, J-Mo?
Yeah, definitely. Everything I've ever seen Max Kellerman say about Stafford has been positive. I'm being real.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, I will kind of take it easy, but I do got to put him out there because of what he did say. Now, I'm all for being objective and things like that, you know, on certain topics. But if you're gonna just talk out the tailpipe instead of, you know, bringing out real facts and being objective with the facts, that's where I got a problem. That's where I got to put you out there, and I will be trying to find his Twitter account to tag him in my video.
Oh man,
you know, but to play devil's advocate a little bit, you know, some would say he was bringing facts. And what do you got to say to that? Because, you know, he brought up the playoff wins and the division title and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he never brought up the whole like Will and Dominique was saying, you know, look at the outside surrounding that. Like they were saying, like, okay, like they were bringing out like the actual real facts that factored into why he hasn't you know, picked up the playoff wins and things like that and got rings and things like that. You know, like when have we ever had an offensive line? When have we ever had a run game that was, you know, competent, you know, and consistent? When have we ever had, you know, tight ends that were actually real tight ends, you know, that could block, that can catch, that don't lead the league in drop passes? Sorry, Eric Ebron. Yes, I'm calling you out on it. You know, and when have we had a consistent, you know, even top 10 defense? Yeah. You know, let alone top 5 defense. You know, all them factors.
Right. And I just want to say for the record, because I didn't actually say, I definitely think Stafford's not overrated and he's underrated. Not that vastly underrated, but just a tad bit.
I think when it comes to the mainstream media, he's underrated to a U and to a D.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, and I'm not talking about just these guys. I'm literally talking about NFL.com. I'm talking about Heath Evans. I'm talking about Sanders. I'm talking about all these talking heads that simply always bash. Was it before is he cannot beat a winning team. He beats a winning team. What's next? He did not win a playoff game. Yeah. What's after that? Oh, he did not win a Super Bowl. Oh, what's that? He did not go in the Hall of Fame on his birthday. Like, it's no matter what. They pushed literally the goalpost back to where even Matt Prater can't kick it. Right. What they do? They simply make up excuses. And now when it comes, like for me, when it comes to Matthew Stafford, I do believe when it comes to other fan bases and people that kind of understand the game, I don't think he's vastly underrated. I think he's somewhat underrated because I think if you talk to fan bases that are not biased, they will tell you, like a guy, JT Sports.
Or fan bases with bad quarterbacks.
Yeah, he'll tell you, JT Sports, he's not a Lions fan. And he'll tell you, hey, man, Matthew Stafford's a really good quarterback. The Lions are a good team. If you talk to individuals like that are not biased, that are not have a hatred, they have respect for him and they have respect for his name. Noble, what do you think about all this, man?
Man, you said a mouthful right there, man. Basically, you know, when you're looking at Stafford, I'm not just looking at Stafford, I'm looking at the Lions as a whole. And I think when the media talks about Matthew Stafford, they need to look at it from the whole perspective. You know, it's just not the quarterback is the one that gets the wins and losses. It's the team that gets the wins and losses. And yes, Matthew Stafford has not had the best teams that he could possibly have with the Lions. So when you're talking about wins and losses and things of that nature, the team was not overall good. Even it's like this. The Lions have been good on offense. They've been good on offense. When the Lions have been good on defense and solid on defense, they didn't have no offense. And I can go back to when Sue was on the team. When those guys, I think they were rated like number two defense, the number 2 defense in the NFL, but didn't have an offense that could move the ball as much. They couldn't score in the red zone, things of that nature. So some of the things that they did talk about, some of those things were facts, and then some of those things were like, nah, that's not good right there. So some areas where they talked about him, like they rated him, like as far as like quarterbacks. I think they gave him somewhere between 12 and 15, like in the NFL. And I'm gonna say no to that. I gotta say that Matthew Stafford, if I had to give him a low ball, I'm gonna say he at least a 10. You know what I'm saying? He's not that bad.
Right. He's a top 10 quarterback, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say he's 12 or 15. He's at least 10 because Matthew Stafford has not had that complete team yet. We all know that as Lions fans, that Lions have not been solid on defense and offense at the same time. And this season, we hope that changed, that they can be solid on defense and offense.
What up, though? They're real most.
So, do you think he's overrated or underrated or rated just fine?
So I think that he's underappreciative. No, I'm just joking. No, I think that he's definitely not. He's not overrated, and when you're saying Matthew Stafford, you're saying a guy that's pretty good, but just haven't had the weapons and had the talent that he needs to really excel on the team. And I'm going to say that he's above average quarterback. So he's close to a top tier quarterback, but because of the wins and losses with the team, it makes him look in the media eyes, it makes him look bad because he doesn't have the wins that other quarterbacks have. So I'm going to say that he's definitely teetering on being an elite QB, but he's right underneath. He's right there. Like he's right there. It's right in his grasp. He can grab it almost.
The real most steppin' makes hashtag
we got 50
facts
people
really
in the
quick.
chat. What'd you say, Mike?
The real most steppin' makes a hashtag fact. He said a lot of teams will snatch Matthew Stafford up in a heartbeat. No doubt.
Absolutely. Dr. Dirk says Stafford averages 4,300 yards while being sacked 37.5 times each year on average. And he's been playing the last 8 years. He said, "Sit down to the haters." Before we get to Luke, we definitely got to get Luke's opinion.
I want to say, look, Field General, man, what do you think about all this?
I just think it's funny that when I hear all y'all different perspectives, I think to myself, like, God, y'all so generous to him. I thought the whole segment was trash. I thought even though Dominique Foxworth tried to go with the idea that he's underrated, he didn't bring anything to the table. And yes, I do have a video coming out about it because I thought it was trash. I thought that Max Calimer had 0 points. His whole argument was based off a contract and the fact that he was drafted first overall. But if you go through and look at the first overall quarterbacks, you would see that Matthew Stafford is still in the top 5 in that category. And for me personally, to sit there and say that he's overrated would imply that he's getting this overhype and love from mainstream media. They're not doing that. Ain't nobody out here in mainstream media talking about the Lions. Ain't nobody out here in mainstream media hyping up Matthew Stafford. In fact, they literally are bashing everything he does. Y'all just said it. Y'all said it best yourselves. If he doesn't win the game, then he get a winning record. Oh, but he didn't beat this team. Then he beat the winning team. Oh, but he don't get the comeback. Then he set the record for comebacks in the season. They just keep moving the goalpost on him. And this whole argument about being overrated, underrated would imply that you thought the Lions was going to do more. The media ain't thought that. So how can you be overrated when you're always rating the team as being trash? Oh, them just the Lions. You know, they're acting as if though that the Lions is this underachieving team. No, the Lions has been an underachieving organization for its entirety. You know, they had that whole conversation.
You know, I feel like they feel like that Stafford should be able to make them not underachieving, basically be Superman in the cake.
No, I think what it is
if he had an offensive line. I've always said that.
I think what it is this. Okay. I think what it is they spend a lot of time trying to find stories. Let's be honest about this. They're not talking about Matthew Stafford if Golden Tate don't open his mouth and say it's the best quarterback I played with.
Preach.
This not even a conversation.
They salty.
Preach.
There's no way they're going to bring up Matthew Stafford if Golden Tate doesn't say something. But yet, because Golden Tate says something, let's have a 10-minute segment about it. It's the kind of stuff that I laugh at. Now, when you don't got nothing to talk about, it's cool to have a conversation where you're going to go out and attempt to bash the quarterback and say he's overrated. But this is how you know Max Caliber, and I think J-Mo hit on this in his video, and me and him shared the same point. I noticed the same thing. This is how you know that ESPN and all them shows on it, and Fox, whatever the people call them, all those shows. This is where you know that they're giving you an entertainment show, because Max Caliber didn't even believe what he was saying. And I'm going to show you I'm going to show you in my video how I know. But because Stephen A. Smith wasn't there, somebody got to be the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I said. It's not like I've heard Max Kellerman talk about Matthew Stafford 100 times, but every time I've ever heard him say anything about Stafford, it's been positive. So when he was saying his whole thing, I'm like, okay, so you had to be the bad guy. And Will Kane, and I bet you they told Will Kane and Dominique, you know what, y'all can pick whichever route y'all want. Y'all can say he overrated, y'all can say he underrated. But Max, I have to make sure you say he's overrated. Gotta make sure. And because it just doesn't line up with all the things that he's saying. Like, Max has talked glowingly about Stafford before.
Yep.
And saying other quarterbacks can't compare to him, and he's a real franchise quarterback. And then when Will Kane asked him, everybody, is he a franchise quarterback? What did Matt Kellerman say? Yes. So,
but J-Mo,
he knows he's good, and he said he's a good quarterback. He knows he's good. He's just trying to say he's overpaid.
But J-Mo, let me show you how trash this is, and y'all gonna see a lot of the same stuff in my video. I'm gonna show you how trash that whole segment was. The moment they hit him with a question, is he a franchise quarterback? He literally had to swallow spit. He looked down. And he goes, yeah. And the thing that I want to point out to you about that is this. The moment he said yes, that he's a franchise quarterback, then his whole argument was dead in the water. Because where else do you draft franchise quarterbacks if not in the first round, especially high, after you came to a team that went 0-16?
Yeah.
If you're going to tell me, he's getting a contract that's getting paid, then let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo, who's making more than him. What he's done?
He got nobody at work.
Nothing, man. He got 2 rings from Tom Brady. That's what he got.
Kirk Cousins, who's making more than him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is making more than him.
Let's just look at all these people making more than Matthew Stafford. They didn't bring none of that up in that segment. But if you really want to show you how to kill that whole argument, if you don't pay a franchise quarterback, what are you supposed to do? Let him walk? Right. According to you, he's a franchise quarterback, Max Caliber. Yeah. Why should he not be paid?
He'll only be a franchise caliber quarterback on a team that they like instead of like the Lions. He's terrible now.
They know but that's the thing. They know he's a franchise quarterback.
The greatest quarterback of all time. He's the GOAT. He's going to take.
Yeah, and I remember when Marcellus Wiley did their little segment. They was talking about Marcellus Wiley. He's talking about every football player that he talks to says that Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFL. And to me, that's alarming to even say that on national television. But this is what he's saying, and then Golden Tate said that, and it spurred up a lot of things. They just needed a way to, kick Stafford while he's down a little bit, and they needed something to talk about, because whether they're doing this for a hot topic or not, it is a topic that needs to be discussed regardless.
Yeah,
because Kane and Dominique were saying he's not overrated. So to other people outside looking in and coming to watch something like that who don't know nothing about Stafford, they're going to watch that, and they're going to see, whatever they want to see, narratives and how that goes. But it was something that needs to be talked about since Golden Tate said he was underrated, and he said he was better than Russell Wilson. That's what he said.
You just made the point that they like to kick Matthew Stafford when he's down. Well, that's fine. They can do that, because move over Tony Stark. Matthew Stafford's the real Iron Man. This dude gets beat up, kicked, broken back, wife's get a tumor. He doesn't quit, and he still plays. How many quarterbacks in the NFL would play with a broken back or their wife have a brain tumor? Let's see. Do you think every other quarterback in the NFL would do that? Or is this something special?
It's something special.
The real most stepping Paisley says, for the first time, Matt will have a balanced team around him. He got a defense, wide receivers, and tight ends. If he has a legit running game in which Matt can play, he's a great play action QB. It's a breakout season for Matt. All I'm saying is I feel the same way. That's why I have high expectations for Stafford as well, because I'm expecting the team around him to finally be good. So I'm expecting results from everyone, from Matt Patricia and Matt Stafford and Matt Prater, all of the Matts. But but so I definitely expect the team to be good this year. And like I said in my video, somebody somewhere high up in power knows the Lions are about to be good and might actually mess up their plans, to have crown the Bears or the Vikings or the Packers. And they don't like it, so they trying to put out segments to down us and spit on us. It's okay.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, J-Man. I don't know if they personally just trying to put out segments to down us. I think what it boils down to is Golden Tate said something that in their eyes was shocking, because the first thing that they did was they said, but he played with Russell Wilson. And what they don't understand is Russell Wilson had a run game.
Yep.
They don't understand that he's had the run game, he's had the defense, but he's had the run game. He has not always had the protection, but again, he's a little bit more mobile, so that does help him in that regard. But nonetheless, that run game remedies a lot along with that defense. And I think one of the things when we talk about the Detroit Lions defense, we did our thing, but we give up a lot of big plays too. I remember that. I remember those defenses, and I just think that a lot of the time that those defenses that they try to bring up for the Lions, I always come back and ask that question: name me who was his best running back, who was his best tight end. Even when they compare him to Tony Romo, I say you can't. Tony Romo had a 2,000-yard rusher. Tony Romo had an 1,800-yard rusher. Tony Romo had a running back group.
He had Marco Murray.
He's way better than Tony Romo, by the way. Let's stop with that.
I do want to say this though, real quick, Luke, and I want to point out Dr. Dirk's comment. He says, "Tell me one player that like quarterback that wins when the team loses."
Hey man, that's comment of the day so far.
Absolutely,
because the truth is this: the only people who uses quarterback win-loss records are suckers. And I hate to say it that way, but it is what it is. They're suckers. That means you have nothing else to argue. So let me go to the first thing I could think of to make sense. But you're saying it like this is tennis or golf or bowling. This ain't bowling. It's not an individual sport. It's a team sport.
It's a team sport.
It's literally the ultimate team sport. The only team sport that could be considered on this level is hockey and football, soccer.
Right, and if you want to look at individuals, you can go to tennis or something like that.
Man. But to call him, I like that they said something though, because it just add fuel to the fire. And I expected all three of them to say he was overrated. That's what surprised me. But I feel like it was a little bit of honesty. Like I said, Dominique and Will, they're just looking at it objectively. Like, well, let's look at the Lions. Well, they are the Lions. And then let's look at Stafford and his talent. Well, he's a pretty good quarterback, so I wouldn't say he's overrated.
You know what? I J-Mo, I love me some you. All right, I just want you my guy, right? But I disagree with that because they didn't offer anything of value to support their claim. They was talking very vague, and they didn't bring up none of the shortcomings of that team. The only thing that Dominic Foxworth said that I agree with, which was, you can't sit there and say he's overrated when the expectations don't meet an overrated quarterback. And when he said that, I agree with. But they didn't bring up none of the stuff about how he went from 2013 to 2019 before he got a 100-yard rusher. They didn't bring up none of that. They bring up the fact that he's only had a top 17 rushing attack once in his career. They didn't bring up how in those 3 playoff games, the NFL apologized for picking up a flag and missing a call on the Dominican suit. They didn't say anything about Matthew Stafford having to throw the ball 45 times with broken fingers on his hand. They didn't say anything about this man being 12-1 in the 13 games that he's had a 100-yard rusher, which, by the way, they kept talking about 10 to 11 years and failing to say that, hey, he was hurt the first 2 seasons because his offensive line couldn't cover poop with a blanket. They didn't bring up no details.
I mean, they didn't bring up none of that. But at the end of the day, even if their explanation was wrong, their premise was right of him being an underrated quarterback at the end of the day, because they didn't have to say that. And this is the problem. They don't do enough research on Matthew Stafford. So when Max Kellerman is challenging him with like numbers and talking about wins, you know how debaters do, man. They'll find a way to spin an argument to fit their narrative that they're going with. So that's why he started talking about, with the players and where is he rated at, just digressing a little bit from the actual stats, because when Will Kane started talking, he started to bring up more of stats in the team around Stafford, because that's when he was saying if Stafford had a team around him with a defense and a team that ran the football, this is exactly what he said, and Stafford could lead a team to a championship. That's what he said. So
right, but they also missed the simple fact of this. The simple
fact they ain't Lions fans. What you expect?
I get it, but they're playing. I get it, but they're playing a part. If you're going to talk about the team, and I think Dominic brought it up, we are on a platform. We can't just be talking about on the surface stuff. But I think one of the biggest things that I don't think that many of us understand is they're playing a part to put out entertainment for a show. That's all they're doing. They're playing a part to put out entertainment for a show. And on top of that, when I go through and I look at the whole premise behind the conversation that they had as it pertains to Stafford, I still walk away and I say, yo, if you're going to have the conversation or a debate and you want to win a debate, all you have to do was do like how Will did and ask a close debate. Yeah, all you have to do is ask a close-ended question like, is he a franchise quarterback? See, when you debating somebody, when you ask that close-ended question, there's no reason for an explanation. Either it's yes or no. We're going to find out how serious you is about what you're saying, or is it just smoke? And the truth is in that debate, it wasn't hard for me to see who the winner was. Once he said yes, he's a franchise quarterback. Everything you said went out the door.
Also, when him talking about I do want to get your take on this though. With him talking about Max Kellerman talking about the money and the expectation of a number one quarterback is the reason why. And I don't understand, how is Stafford overpaid considering he's a franchise quarterback? It don't make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Travis, I'd like to get your take on this as well. So what do you think, man? Do you think that it was overblown when it comes to ESPN First Take? Do you think they're full of it, or do you think they made some points?
I mean, they made some points, but like I said, like Max did not even bring in, like Luke was even saying, and I think I said a little bit, I think it was off air, was, they don't tell about like our lack of run games and all the holes that we've had. Like, if you really look at Matthew Stafford's offense, at most it was Matthew Stafford and maybe one or two receivers. That's it.
Mm-hmm. No, it was really Stafford and Megatron until Golden Tate came along. It was Stafford, Megatron, and Golden Tate. And then that lasted for one season, and Megatron left.
But that's what I'm trying to say is, like, he has never had an offensive line. He's never had the run game. He's never had let alone three wide receivers at once. Right. And then two tight ends. Like, come on. Like, when has he ever had anything that he has right now? Like, if we're gonna say if he's overrated or underrated, let's base it off what he does from here on out.
Right. That's true.
Hey, we got 59 folks watching, and we got 41 thumbs up. Noble.
Yeah.
Give me a take, man. I want to hear an extended version from Noble Sports here.
Man, like I said, man, like Travis just told you, the Lions never had a complete team. That's the biggest thing. The Lions never had a complete team. When you're looking at the Lions, you got to look at it from all angles and every perspective. And that's something that the national media won't talk about. They won't talk about that we didn't have a run game. They don't care about that. They care that Matthew Stafford has not won one single division title game, which is true. He hasn't. But it's not just him. It's the team hasn't won one. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at us, don't just look at us from the angle of judging Matthew Stafford on just him. You got to look at it from the angle of looking at the team as a whole. The whole team has not been complete. And I think this season is the season that we have had the most depth on the team that we possibly can make some noise. And you don't have to just go to one individual player on the team. When we had Calvin, it was just throw the ball to Calvin. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then when Golden Tate came, it was okay. Give Golden Tate a couple catches. Give Ebron a few catches if he didn't drop it. And then also give Calvin Johnson some more catches. And maybe we'll throw on third down to Theo out of the backfield.
Pardon me, TA. Pardon me, TA. But can I add to that a little bit? It was Dominic Foxworth in that interview who said to them, "Y'all are smart enough to know that games are not won and lost by one player."
Yeah,
and I don't think they understood that. And I don't think they understand the concept of how you should rate the quarterback.
Right.
Well, you know what I was thinking? We established that they talk about that. They don't talk about the fact that of the things that he doesn't have, and they don't like. I don't want to say makes excuses or makes explanations for him. It's just funny because it reminds me of their golden boy, because their golden boy, we making every excuse in the book for the golden boy, but the golden boy didn't make the playoffs the last 2 seasons and won 6 games. But it's just tons and tons and tons of excuses. And I wonder what's gonna happen, what excuse they gonna make up for the golden boy this year when they go 7-9. Like, so they make all them excuses for them boys over on Wisconsin. I ain't even saying their names.
What up,
the cheese
There's no explanations with Stafford, because I guarantee you, if he was in that Packers uniform, they'd be like, he ain't had a rusher in 5 years, and he's never had a top 10 running it. That's all they would be preaching.
Right,
right. A lot of bias.
What up, though? Chuck Howard from Holland, Michigan, man. That is my town.
What's up, man? What's up, Detroit Drew?
He's back in the building, getting a tattoo touch up there, so that's always good. Zachary Graves, what up, though? Here's the deal when it comes to the Matthew Stafford dilemma. Now we have a year where we all agree, at least I presumably we all agree that the offense is going to be very well. He's got the tight ends. He's got the running backs. He's got the wide receivers. A little bit of the question mark on the offensive line. However, every team's not perfect. We now got a defense. We're going to have a good defense when it comes to defensive line, linebackers, secondary, and our special teams look like it's going to be legit. This is the year, folks, that all this nonsense talk that's been taking place about Matthew Stafford making playoffs, is he a franchise quarterback? Is he not? Is he overpaid? It's all going to go out the window here very, very soon, because I believe this Detroit Lions team may be the best overall team when it comes to all sides of the game, special teams, defense, offense. This is the most in-depth team when it comes to the Detroit Lions that we've seen in a long time. This is the year that, in my opinion, that Matthew Stafford is going to take all these haters and shut them up with hashtag bombs into the end zone, with hashtag run the ball, with hashtag I'm going to take the NFC North, because hashtag MicroMike is a cool guy and he spits the truth. What up, though, JT Sports? Folks, I will be on JT Sports tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. He is a great individual who understands the game of football from every team's perspective. It's very nice to get a perspective from an individual who's not a Lions fan. So if you want to go on JT Sports tomorrow at 6, I will be with him talking about Lions. So that's kind of how I see this thing going.
So I want to interject just a little bit more.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the number one thing, you know what I'm saying, with the Lions this season is we shut everybody up, we start winning games, and we start punching people in the mouth early, fast, and often. The number one thing, too, for the Lions this season is you have to beat the teams that nobody thinks that you can beat. You got to beat the Kansas Cities. You got to beat the Denvers. I don't care who they are. You got to try to be so competitive this season. I know there's going to be some games that the Lions are going to lose, but at the same time, you just want this team to come out fiery and competitive and be able to play some good Lions football this season.
We got anyone listening? What's up, man? We got 70 people in the chat.
Wow.
Man.
Let's get the likes up.
Let's get the likes up to 70, man. I was just saying with Stafford, it's always something. And like I said, the media, they keep talking about the Lions. It's been a lot of talk. And we're going to shut them up. It just gives me much more confidence in them this season. When I saw Stafford throwing passes with Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay and Danny Amendola, like, he looked like he in great shape. I'm like, bro, like, this dude look built like a brick house, man. So he looks really good. So I think the team is going to be good. We just got to make sure Kenny Wiggins not on his offensive line.
And I was just about to go to the offensive line. The biggest question mark going into the season, guys, we already know, everybody knows it. It's the offensive line. The offensive line is the biggest question mark. We need these guys. Some of these guys are getting paid some decent money, and we need these guys to protect Stafford, man. He can't be getting sacked 41 times, man. That's just
I mean,
absurd.
but if they running the ball, you remedy a lot of that stuff. And that's just the truth. If you run the ball, a lot of the sacks and stuff are remedied.
So I hope that be the case, Luke. I definitely hope that be the case.
And you got to think about the scheme as well, because Darrell Bevell is going to do a scheme that defenses are not going to know exactly what they're going to do. And when you know what a offense is going to do, that does not help the offensive line at all. If they know it's going to be a running play, they can go ahead and set up a defense to stop the run. So KFC really hurt the offensive line in that fact as well. And I think Darrell Bevell will elevate it just simply with his presence there in the new scheme.
Richard had said, that's a weird name, but when comparing the Lions to the rest of the division, who was the Lions' biggest obstacle? Well, Richard had, make sure you subscribe to 313 JMO. I did a whole video on the question you're just asking, but I'm going to go more what my boy LukeG said on that video. He ain't worried about nobody. I ain't worried about nobody in the division, but the only team that I respect is the Vikings. I'm telling you, I don't believe in the Bears. You can't get me to believe in the Bears as long as they got Mr. Trubisky. But the Vikings got a 4-year coach now.
Mm-hmm.
They still got all of their people on their team for the most part. Kirk Cousins is he's good enough quarterback. You know, you could win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins as long as he don't throw picks and make plays in clutch moments. But that's yet to be seen with the Vikings. They got a loaded roster on offense too. So, but I'm not really afraid of none of those teams.
The one team I am afraid of in the NFC North is the Detroit Lions. I'm just afraid. I feel like they definitely can do it. I think if we don't do well, it's not because another team beat us. It's because we beat ourselves. I know we've heard that many, many times, but it's for real. Like if Wiggins is in there, hashtag never Wiggins gets in there, then that's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt our team. I feel like that we're the ones that are going to stop ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, Mike, you want to hear something very interesting?
Oh, yes.
Madden has Wiggins rated at 62 overall.
They got him rated what?
Yeah. We already went over that. I went over that in my video. Yeah, he's trash. JT
they got him rated at 62 overall, man.
Hold on. JT4 says, you believe in Kirk Cousins, dude hasn't won a primetime game. Well, if you listen to what I said as long as he don't throw picks and he makes the right plays in clutch moments, you can win a Super Bowl with him. And that's
because they
I'm
still
thinking about it.
I mean, but what's wrong? What's wrong with you believing in Kirk Cousins? I mean, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Like Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's what Joe Flacco did. That's how he won a Super Bowl. He was good, big in clutch moments, and he didn't turn the ball over. He had a great team.
That Ravens defense was nasty.
Rex Grossman made it to a Super Bowl. Why is that shocking? Like, come on, man. You just need the quarterback to be good enough. When you get an elite quarterback, that's better, and you see it because your team has a benefit of it. But
let's be honest. Brady last year was a good quarterback. Not great, not amazing, but he was a good quarterback that was clutch. Yep. That's what he was.
I think it was a team. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah who said that the way he rates a quarterback is based on three things. He says it's based on 3 P's. Did they have good play calling? Did they have playmakers? And did they have protection? And if you go through and you look at that with Matthew Stafford, he's only had one. He's only had one, and that was playmaker.
And I want to harp back onto that 2014 year, going off for your 3 P's. We had everything in that playoff game except for that last P, protection. The offensive line mailed it in, and we didn't have a play calling either. So, Stafford only really had one play, but he only had Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate for 1 year.
Yeah.
Because Calvin got hurt. He only had them for a year and a half. Besides that, he had Calvin Johnson and nobody else. Nate Burles and Titus Young for 5 games till he goes to jail. Chris Durham. Who was Chris Durham? I don't know. We drafted some white wide receiver in the 2nd round. I forgot his name. One of the biggest busts in the history of the NFL. That's the Lions, though. So, there aren't any running backs either. There aren't any tight ends to point to. So,
yeah.
What really playmakers has he had besides that 1 year with Golden Tate. We were 11-5 that year.
What up, Doe Max Palmer? What up, Doe DSA's No Miss J? Welcome to the
What
chat.
up,
Oh, what's up, Noam?
What
How you
up,
doing, man?
Doe?
Make sure you guys like the video.
And listen, can I do this really quick? Really quick? We got all these people in the chat, and I love it. But this is the thing, people. We are in full-fledged campaign mode. All right.
Yeah.
We have some great content creators for you guys in the DSA on YouTube, giving you your Detroit sports. But we're not hitting on the numbers that we should be. 313 JMO should easily be at 1,000. MicroMike should easily be at 1,000. Okay. Noble Sports Entertainment should easily be at 2,000. Troxel Sports Talk should easily be at this point at least 600 at this point. No Miss J should easily be at 600. There are so many different opportunities that we should be at. Please, I know some of y'all watch the videos and y'all don't subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button because it really does make a difference.
Right.
Folks,
we appreciate every one of you guys to give you this content.
We are trying to take it to the next level, and every member of the DSA brings something to the table. And every time we get one more subscriber to one of our channels, we're that close from changing the narrative about Detroit sports. That's what we are here for, man. We are here for you guys to give you positive, fact-based content that destroys the legacy media.
Right, because I know that every person in the chat is probably not subscribed. Just make sure you subscribe to us, man. Subscribe to JMO for that real talk. Subscribe to Noble for that breaking news. Travis is over there talking football and basketball. Luke is the field general himself. So we're all doing great things for everyone.
Also, our newest
member, round table every week, man.
Make sure you guys subscribe to Positively Detroit as well.
Absolutely,
I mean, really, man. If you go to Positively Detroit's channel, man, he's doing something I ain't even did yet, right? He's taking it a step further, digging deep into the numbers and working it out and getting into the analytics of it. I'll get into the analytics when the season starts, but he's already in rare form, okay? Like he's already at the Super Saiyan mode. I'm still trying to build up to it. Like right now, he's Goku. I'm Vegeta, trying to get my Super Saiyan going on, and he just not hit 100. Listen. If you want to have your team represented, then you got to be able to give us a representation platform. That comes from the subscribers being able to help us create the platform so we can have the discussion, so we can get out there and possibly get a radio show or something like that where we can talk about your sports, where you can hear your sports all the time, when you want to, how you want to, on demand. And I'm telling you, the content makers we got for you guys, man, please make sure you subscribe to them. Please. If I can give all my subscribers away to those gentlemen, I would. And I would just simply be a support for them because I believe what they do is that good. So please go out there and hit that subscribe button and don't forget that.
All right, Mike, what's the next topic, man?
Okay, so the next topic I wanted to transition to is the expectations for the rookies this year. Expectations for rookies at camp as well as the year. You can pick on any rookie you want. You can talk about multiple rookies. But Noble Sports, what do you think the expectations is for the rookies, specifically just for training camp right now?
Man, the expectation for the rookies is going to be through the roof. Number one, Jelani Tavai. Jelani Tavai.
Noble, me and you think so much alike. That's why we do this, man. Because he's the first one I was going to highlight.
He's the guy that I want right now. Jelani Tavai. I definitely think that this guy can be our Troy Polamalu at that linebacker position. A lot of people, when you look at Jelani Tavai and you see his skill set, you know that the guy is talented, and you know that they didn't go after this guy and pick him that high for nothing. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, the media, if you want to say 97.1 a ticket, talked about Jelani Tavai and was just the questioning of the Lions. Like, why did they pick this guy? Nobody knew him. That's good. No, we glad that nobody didn't know this guy. We're happy that nobody knew him, because when he started tearing up everything in your backfield, you're gonna know his name. You're gonna know his name because you're gonna see that Tavai. That's all you're gonna see is Tavai every time he brings it. So
my boy Lonnie, my boy Bob.
So I definitely think that
Travis. Travis, who's your rookie and the expectations for training camp? You can do one or multiple rookies, man. Who you got going on, man?
Well, okay, then I'm going to do one on each end of the field. I'm going to do, obviously, TJ Hawkinson, and then I'm going to do Amani Awarie. Especially with the whole Darius Slay situation, I need to see him at least grasp what the philosophy is. Because I think if he can grasp at least what the philosophy is, I think he might not have like the greatest start, but at least by mid-season, he could start catching on a lot faster and a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I know it is harder for corners to learn the game, especially in the first 2 to 3 years. But if he can at least grasp the philosophy of what we are trying to do as Detroit Lions, I think he could actually have a really good season. And then on the flip side of it, with TJ Hawkinson, I want to see him really keep Stafford upright. And when when teams are sleeping on him and he does go out for that pass, just catch that pass.
Yeah.
Catch that pass, move the chains. Mm-hmm. Let's kill some clock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to training camp, it's all about the field review. Luke, who is your rookie or rookies for training camp, and what do you expect from them?
Bo Benshaw.
Yes, you son of a bitch, you took mine.
I need for him. He's the guy that I'm going to look at the most because I need for him to solidify that guard position. I feel like if you're going to prove me wrong and tell me, I want to see Bo Benshaw. And then outside of Bo Benshaw, the other rookie that I'm really hoping catches on is Travis Fulgham, because I'm just under the belief that this is going to be the last year for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's gonna be the end of it. And hey, Luke, just to kind of piggyback off of that, I think another guy that I'm looking at as far as like rookies is Ty Johnson. I really want to see Ty Johnson get a lot of work in the preseason. I think they're gonna give him a shot to try to earn his way on the team. So excited next week for training camp. I believe training camp is next Thursday, I believe. So I'm very, very excited to see what Ty Johnson could do in that backfield, because we can use that speed. We can utilize that speed.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I do feel like Bo Benshaw and Travis Fulgham, the guy that Luke was highlighting, we need them way more than we need Ty Johnson, because we need a receiver to replace Marvin, and when he's gone, and then we need an offensive lineman. We need a guard badly. So. But the guys that my guys is obviously I'll have three guys. You guys already mentioned them, but I'll give my take on it. TJ Hawkinson, of course, Jelani Tavai, and Travis Fulgham. TJ Hawkinson, I just expect, because a lot of people knew he was good, but the media, they always being snarky with their comment. They was talking a little smack about TJ, and then TJ started destroying everyone in camp, and you ain't hear nothing. It was nothing but crickets and silence and calm winds. But but with TJ Hawkinson, I'm just expecting to hear that he's killing everybody and frying them. That's all I want to hear, and hear that he's blocking well, because that's the thing that makes him special. It's not his receiving ability. The thing that makes him a special player is his blocking ability. So, and then with Tavai, I need to hear that he's covering and not getting fried. He can get cooked a couple times because you got to take your lumps, but I'm hoping that he's covering, because he's an amazing pass rusher. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, if we drafted him to literally be Devon Kennard and just pass rush, we could do it. But I think he's way more talented than that, has a lot more skill. So I'm not worried about him. I could see him getting 5 sacks easily, without a doubt, just because I know he can rush the passer, even on the NFL level. He's not gonna have a problem. Trust me. I'm worried about coverage. Is what I'm worried about.
Well, another guy that I'm looking at on the defensive side of the ball is Malik Carney.
I was gonna say him too.
Malik Carney for me is a guy that I'm expecting to put Jalen Reeves-Maybin off this team. if you can't unseat Jalen Reeves-Maybin, then shame on you. In my opinion.
And I guess Trey Lamar is making the practice squad.
Yeah, Trey Lamar is a beast too. So we got to see what he's gonna do.
Yeah, but I was gonna say back to what I was saying about Fulgham though. I think Fulgham, you have to be developed right at the end of the day, and you have to have some talent. So I think he has enough talent that if you develop him right, he could have the potential to be a great receiver, great separation, great hands. He doesn't have Kenny Galladay speed, but he's not slow at all. And he's a great blocker, you know, tough, gritty from a small school guy. Like, I think he's special. I'm just gonna say, I think we got a gem, just like when we got Kenny Galladay. I think this dude is really gonna be helping us. So I want a solid rookie season from him, because I feel like the offense is gonna be good for the most part. But if we can get a guy like Travis Fulgham balling out as a rookie when we have all these other weapons on the team, it just gives us that extra cushion. Now we don't have to use Danny Amendola as much. He's fresher. We don't have to use other players as much, and they're fresher. That's the thing that, you know, the thing that made the Atlanta Falcons so dangerous. They were good on defense, but they had 10 weapons on offense.
Yeah, they had running backs.
And everybody was so fresh. You could never beat them. They were never tired.
They're never tired because the other guys just come in.
There's a couple.
You had Dante Freeman, and then you would have what's that?
Tevin Coleman
coming in replacing them.
I mean, Julio wouldn't even be on the field, and they still could score 35 on you.
Yeah,
so
you had Mohamed Sanu. Yeah,
behind a great scheme from Kyle Shanahan. So
the one there's a couple of rookies that I'm gonna talk about. Going last kind of sucks because you kind of get left with the leftovers.
No, man, we say the best for last, Mike.
but I'm glad I got to get to talk about the 4th round pick, the defensive end from Clemson, Austin Bryant. I'm really curious to see in training camp how he's utilized when it comes to the linebacker and defensive end position. I think this is very interesting because he can use multiple positions. Can he make such an impact where he is seeing so much usage on linebacker or defensive end to be starting more starts than I would suggest during the regular season? This is something that could definitely be a difference maker because he can do multiple positions. So if this 4th round pick can make such an impression where he's getting a couple starts in the beginning of the season and making more of an impact in the regular season during the end, that will be something very interesting to check out in training camp to see how he develops. And when it comes to the offense, we haven't talked about Isaac Nada, the tight end from Georgia. He's the 7th round pick. Now, we heard in OTAs how they're doing 3 tight end formations, and we're not just talking about running, they were talking about passing. We all know that Nada, he was a pass-catching tight end. So would they utilize him more than we think when it comes to learning in training camp and putting him on the field in the regular season? That is a big question mark, because if he can learn quick and be a weapon for us, definitely this 7th round pick could be a steal if he can make those soft-handed catches like he was doing at Georgia. So these are 2 individuals I'm going to want to see how they're doing in training camp and how well.
Y'all remember we was talking about the 53-man rosters?
Yeah.
Even though we didn't agree, and I didn't agree with a lot of them, some of them had 3 tight ends. So you never know. Maybe Isaac Duwada is so good in training camp that we just decide to carry 3 tight ends. And, you know, either carry an extra running back, receiver, or linebacker, or defensive back, or O-lineman instead. So, because I think we would have 4 tight ends, but if he's that good, they might just say we can go with 3 and, you know, have some receivers or something. So,
well, just think if he can actually pan out in training camp and really start making an impression catching those footballs, if we get an injury to the wide receiver position, if he's that good to where he can transition to the NFL by catching the ball, that's a good suggestion. You got your guy for an injury. You got a guy that
you got to have him in full. Amani Oruwariye, I don't have high expectations, and I'm not going to be really that hard on him. He's a cornerback, you know.
Yeah.
Cornerbacks are just different, man. So I'm not really so if he plays well, I'm gonna love it. But I'm not really. My expectations are low, and I'm not expecting to hear anything. All I'm expecting to hear is he's not falling behind, and he's doing solid.
I think y'all also missed the point that what Isaac not to do for the Lions is it allows for you to run more pistol offset formations with the tight end as the fullback. So
right. He can do that.
you know, and like I said, for me, it's about Malik Carney and Bo Benchar. I want to see what those dudes bring to the table because I like guys with a chip on their shoulder. They come up and they show up and they show out, and that's what you want to see. So for me,
I agree
want
with
to see
Boo.
that.
He said,
now, this is my biggest thing though, going into the training camp next Thursday, injury free. You know what I'm saying? We don't want none of our guys getting hurt, man. And we talking about key guys on the team. You don't.
I think the rookies are already in though. They come in a week.
I think tomorrow they do.
Okay, yeah, we don't want none of our guys getting hurt because you know how it can happen. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can end up, you know, pulling a kneecap or getting a ruptured Achilles. We don't want none of that. So, you know, we just praying for good health for these guys that they'll be able to be healthy and be out there to be productive.
Well, just to clarify for you guys, the rookies reported today for the Detroit Lions. The veterans report on the 24th.
Okay, so
that's what I said in my video. They report today.
Peace
and Quiet is in the building. What's up, Peace and Quiet?
What's up, Peace and Quiet?
Peace and Quiet.
I did want to read a comment. It said, "Can we possibly run a 3 tight end set?" And then my eyes are on TJ and Tavai. I really do. I know they're the first and second round picks, so they're supposed to be the best. But I think these guys could be the difference between us being 10-6 and 12-4. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I need to hear a lot of good things from these two guys. I know TJ is going to be him, but I need to hear. I need Jelani Tavai to take a step, a jump, something. Because we need another diverse linebacker that can cover and that can pass rush and tackle, and that's intelligent. So we definitely need help in that area.
Now, to add on to this conversation, Travis, when we think of the rookies, we talked about what we want to expect in training camp or what we will believe we'll expect. When it comes to these rookies, now, how about the regular season? Is there individual rookies that you want to see how well they do, and what's your expectations for 1 or 2 rookies for the regular season?
I mean, for guys like TJ Hawkinson, I mean, like if they have at least 500 to 600 yards, I'm cool with that. I think that's a darn good year. And even though if say a Warrior does play and he might not have a single stat, I just don't want to have like for him guys catching it on him and like J-Mo said, like burning him, for like Tavai and stuff like that. But I know I will understand. I do understand. Like corners is the hardest position along with tight ends. For like rookies, I mean, even for second and third year players, it's a little bit harder in them positions because there's so many aspects to the game. But in TJ Hawkinson's case, he has been in that situation with Iowa because that's Iowa's system. Put your hands in the dirt, stand up, be on the line, off the line, and do different things to where you're versatile. And if you listen to Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, offensive and defensive, they love versatility. And they love being a chameleon. I think that's the best way to put like what our offense and defense is. It's going to be a chameleon. And that's what I want to see them adapt. This season. I think if they do that this season, I think they're going to have a bright future.
Yeah.
What up, though, Broken Lion? He says, I started listening, so I don't know if y'all talked about the Max Kellerman saying Stafford's overrated. Yes, we did. That was in the beginning of the segment, probably around 8:15 Eastern.
Yeah, he said he believes is why he's going to be an MVP talk. I'm with you.
Yeah. These are the type of things we definitely talked about it. So when you're done with the cast, if you want to go rewind, we definitely have a nice segment about that. We spent a lot of time talking about that. What up, though, Evan? And
I wanted to say something, Mike.
Yeah, I was just about to say to you, and Noble, what do you got going on, man? Tell us.
Okay, I got something in the comments that Don Bird said. He said y'all better talk about how huge Frank Ragnow is going to be at the center position. So, what is you guys' take on how that transition from guard over to center is going to be for Frank Ragnow?
Immense. It's going to make this team and this offensive line much better. We're getting an individual who was a center in college, and he was a very, very good one. Now he is going from a guard position to center, where he will be able to decipher and help Matthew Stafford out what plays are making on the defense. He can help out the left and right guard because he is that good. Putting him in position to succeed is going to help the running backs out, Stafford out, and maneuver through plays. I think this is such a big move and such a big deal that literally our offensive line rankings will go up just a couple points just for him moving to center. He now had a whole year to understand the speed of the NFL. Now he gets to go to his rightful position where he will dominate and probably be a Pro Bowler center. When it comes to Luke, what do you think? I know you have a big opinion on this because you've been talking about this a lot. What do you think about Frank moving to center and how it'll impact us?
You know what? I'm excited for the move to happen. I think that it was something that should have happened earlier than later. But the more I look at this, the more I get worried. And the more I get worried is because that guard position is really left wide open. And Bo Ben Shaw has to earn that spot. Somebody legitimate has to earn that spot. If they do not earn that spot, we may see Frank Ragnow get moved back to guard and Graham Glasgow get moved back to center. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to man it.
You don't want that.
No. Somebody's gonna have to man that guard position. So I'm gonna be paying close attention to the guard position because if for some reason they are not getting the production that they want out of the guard, we're gonna see Frank Ragnow get moved back to guard and Graham Glasgow go to center. Concerned about it. I was going to make a video about it, but I didn't.
Yeah, you still can.
Well, I still could.
Yeah,
but I really am concerned by that because when I go through and I look at it and I'm like, God, who's really going to hold this down?
Yeah,
it's a battle there, but the truth is, we don't know who's going to be there. Nope. And with that being said, I can see it easily being Frank Ragnow to guard, and that's going to bother me.
Yeah,
that's scary thought. That's a scary thought. JMO, tell us what you think, man. Do you think that it's possible that if a Wiggins did take over that guard position, that they'd just simply move Frank Ragnow over?
I don't think that's going to happen. It can happen if injuries happen, but I think they're going to find somebody viable to fill that position, whether it's Ben Schwa or Joe Dahl or somebody. I'm just believing that cliche Patriots type of way of fixing the offensive line. So they'll find somebody. And like I said, if they don't play well, maybe they move them back. But I think they'll find somebody viable because the offensive line is really the biggest problem. Well, not the biggest, but one of the biggest problems. So it's something that you have to think about and pay attention to. But right now, I think we need him at center. So even if we're bad at left guard, he's gonna have to stay at center because we need somebody to push the pocket and to run the ball. And Stafford has had bad left guards before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you just hope it ain't this.
It's not nothing new. Because we had a bad left guard and we had an average center, so we've had we could have a bad left guard and a great center that can still hold the line and cover up for him a little bit. So you might see. I know he's a tackle, but you might see them try Tyrell Crosby there. You never know. So because I seen him on that left side tackle and guard last year, so we'll see.
JGB says, do y'all think they could be waiting for cuts for a left guard? It's possible. I think what they're going to do here is see who can take over that guard spot in camp. Is it going to be Joe Dahl? Is it going to be a Bo Ben Schwa? We lost LukeG. Yeah, so I will send him back an invite when soon as he'll get back. I'm sure it was a reception thing. So I think at this point, it's going to be they will fight it out in camp. If none of them could beat out Wiggins, if that does not occur, that's a bad scenario to be in. And they may look at people that get cut, possibly veterans, possibly rookies that don't make a 53 of another team. Hopefully that's not the case, but I do think that is possible, JGB.
Hey, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that scares me going into the training camp is the offensive line. That's still one of the areas that we got a question mark on, because until we get that guard spot filled and get the right guy in there to make sure Matthew Stafford gets that protection, man, going into the training camp, man, that's the offensive line scares me, because it's, these guys going to have to jail, man. That if we're going to do anything, if we're going to even be able to run the ball, we're going to have those guys be able to block. We need them guys blocking, whether it's run block or pass block. We need them to do their job this season.
Absolutely. It's the X factor this year. We know what we got at pretty much every position except for the guard. I think it's a scary factor to have, because you do not want that to be the question mark. And especially when you got Sheriff Wiggins in there. And we all know, man, that if hashtag never Wiggins gets in, we're in a world of hurt. Well, Stafford surely is in a world of hurt. And it'll be interesting to see going forward how that plays out. LukeG, you back, man?
Yeah, man. This phone acting a trip right now, man. Oh my God, man! Listen, I'm on a run right now. When you have you got pregnant people, man, you get sent on food runs.
Hey, too many girl analogies, Luke.
hey, man. Hey, just doing my best, man. Just doing my best.
There's nothing like a LukeG analogy that really spices up and makes the laughter hit.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Listen, listen. I tell you what, Frank Ragnow going from center to guard would be like you breaking up with a dime piece to get with a nickel. You're gonna be mad when they cheat on you and they ugly. Okay. I mean, trust me, it's happened. I've had it happen where I've dated somebody who was not attractive, and they cheated on me. My spirits was broke.
Oh yeah,
it's the equivalent, man. When you're at a bar, you're a little drunk at a bar. You meet up a chick. You wake up in the morning, and the excitement of the alcohol is gone, and you see what
absolutely. When you met her, she was highly buried.
You preaching to the choir.
She was highly buried, and when the alcohol wore off, she was something different. You're like, what is this?
Right. What about them when the lights come on in the club?
and then you wake up, and then you wake up and he's in the bed with you.
Right. Man. Or
y'all tripping.
Or it'd be like you meet the girl.
Y'all tripping, man.
It'd be like you meeting a girl on like Instagram or something, only to find out that the little face you looking at really is a dude behind it. You like, wait a minute, what? Like this what we doing?
See,
I'm just saying.
I have to go to the next question, though.
Or the picture of the person ain't about me.
I have to.
I said, what about me?
Like Jamie always says, Master Chef Bob Quinn. Oh yeah, Bob Quinn ain't done. I'm telling you,
folks. I got to get to this next question because it actually came from one of my subscribers. So this came from Dr. Dirks. He asked if he would like to know, can the Lions reach the Super Bowl within 5 years? I'm going to go straight to LukeG on this one. What do you think, man? Can the Lions do it, reach the Super Bowl in the next 5 years and win one?
If they commit to the run, absolutely. You have to have balance, man. You have to have balance. And as long as they commit to the run, they absolutely can do it. But if they're going to keep relying on the quarterback to just try to win it with his arm and passing 47, 50 times a game, no, we're going to get much of the same, man. But if they commit to the run, I promise you, we get into the Super Bowl, we'll win one, and then the haters can move the bar again and be like, but they won't win again. But just commit to the run. I think we got it, man. I think that's the biggest part of it. Commit to the run, continue to build in the trenches, and work the weapons that you have out. You'll be just fine.
TA for Noble Sports, man. The next face of Mount Rushmore. This is the big question.
Yes,
can we, the Lions, make it to the Super Bowl and win one within 5 years?
Yes, we can. We can. I'm hoping they can do it this season, man. I would love to see the Lions surprise. Right. You know what? Every year I go through this little thing where I call shock value or whatever. I'm hoping that the Lions put the league on notice. You know, like every year in the NFL, it's that one team that you didn't even think that was going to win any games. You didn't think these guys was going to win any games, and they come out, end up being like 12-14, 11-6, but you thought these guys was going to be trash.
12-14, 11-6. Whoa.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying you got to get the records right.
That means they played through the
playoffs.
Yeah. I'm saying a record. I'm saying like teams that you don't think that's gonna win. Every season, it's a surprise team that was like bad the year before, and then the next season they come out smashing everybody.
Okay, who was a surprise team last year?
I'm trying to think.
Chicago Bears.
No.
Yeah, Bears was one of them. Nobody expected the Bears to go out and win.
No, once they got Khalil Mack, they did.
Nah, still you didn't think that they was going to do that. You still didn't think it.
What up?
I don't know. When they got Khalil Mack, I heard a lot of people hyping up the Bears in that defense.
I knew the defense was going to be better, but I didn't think
the
that
surprise team probably was the Chiefs. The Chiefs was definitely the surprise.
The Rams were fairly surprising.
Nobody knew Patrick Mahomes was about to come and do. No, the Rams, we expected them to be good.
I didn't expect them to go to the Super Bowl.
No, I didn't.
I expected them to go straight to the Super Bowl after all them players they got.
And that's why you out-microed Mike.
Yeah, I was about to say, once they got all them players, I'm like, yeah, they going to the Super Bowl. You're not going to be able to stop them. But yeah, and then the Chiefs. So I definitely think we could be that team, though. I think we could do it this year. Like I believe that. Looking at the NFC, you know, Aaron Rodgers has a trash team. Drew Brees has a good team, but he's declining. Jared Goff is a choker. Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan. The Cowboys have Dak Prescott, so you know
Zeke Elliott.
What's gonna happen when Zeke gets shut down in the playoffs against our run defense? I definitely think we could win it, but us winning the Super Bowl, it's coaching, man. Matt Patricia has to dial up these coaching schemes, you know, coaching. And I'm just talking about like schemes. I'm talking about leading a group of men, leading a group of people, and taking us to the promised land, because we're not winning the Super Bowl without excellent coaching, because it's going to take excellent coaching to beat Bill Belichick. Yeah, I'm just assuming the Patriots make it back. If they don't, it's going to be the Chiefs or, you know. But if you want to be Bill Belichick, you're going to have a great coach. So,
what up? Hey, Crispy Cut, man. Hey, I work at GR, man. I go there every single day. I love Grand Rapids, man.
What's up, Crispy Cut? But
Crispy Cut.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking about it from that perspective. But if it didn't happen this year, we definitely have a nice, I say, four-year window right now, because we got a lot of young talent. Stafford is still as good as ever. Carrion's young, and the team can still get better. Bob Quinn is Bob Quinn, so I think it can happen as soon as possible. I don't have any qualms. Back in the day, I thought it'd be hard. But I'm just assuming Stafford having a running back. I'm assuming that Kerryon Johnson is going to be one of the best running backs in the league for the next 7 years. So that's why I have all this confidence that we can win it, because it's not just going to be Stafford and crew. It's going to be Stafford, Kerryon, Kenyon, and Trey Flowerion. So, you know, we're going to have everybody out there.
Broken Lion. Yeah, we did talk about Max Kellerman and the situation with Stafford being overrated. So at the early hour of the show, we did talk about Matt.
And you know, we get to all the hot topics.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
And I kind of got this question a little bit late. So I'm working on my video for Madden, and I noticed something that kind of bothered me. And I talked to one of my friends about it, and he tried to tell me that I was crazy. So I'm going to ask you the question. Madden 20 has the best running back in the NFC North as Tariq Cohen. Who do y'all think is the best running back in the NFC North?
Is this a question, or are we doing something really easy? Because obviously I'm going to say Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, I think it's no.
But Madden has Tariq Cohen with a 78 carry, the highest rated running back in the division.
I mean, what's the big deal? It's Madden.
Yeah.
The big deal is this. This is the big deal. When I talked to my friend about it, his response to me was, in quote, Tariq Cohen has to be the best because he had to share carries. I said, but Kerryon had to share carries with LeGarrette Blount, Theo Reddick, and Zach Zenner. And he still averaged 5.4 yards a carry.
And he got used like really garbage use.
Right.
KFC. He would pull him out of games when he was hot.
It's amazing to me that this, and just for the record, in case people was wondering, the number one rated team on the game of Madden is the Eagles. Number 2 is the Dallas Cowboys.
What?
The number 1 defense, yes, the number 1 defense is the Chicago Bears. But in terms of the division, the number 1 rated team in the division is the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
oh yeah, they got a 90.
God.
Wow.
The number 2 rated team in the division overall is the Minnesota Vikings, followed by the Bears, and the Lions dead last.
Wow.
There's no way the Eagles are the best team in football. They're delusional. And there's no way the Lions are dead last.
They must be going off that Super Bowl journey.
I mean, seriously.
Like, why are the Packers rated at 90?
That's crazy.
I have no idea. They
I
must have had too many
89. I think they're 89 overall.
Oh, well, somebody told me that was 90, but regardless, don't matter. Like, they're trash.
Here, I can tell you what it is really quick. Because when I saw this, I said this doesn't make sense. So the Packers overall is an 87. The Bears overall is an 84. The Vikings overall is an 83. The Lions is an 80 overall for a team. But the Bears got the number 1 defense with an 88. The Lions got an 80 overall defense. Packers got an 84 defense. And the Vikings got an 86 defense.
What?
In terms of the offense, the number 1 offense in the NFC North is the Packers with an 89, the Vikings with an 80, and the Lions and Bears are tied at a 76.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah. So,
I mean, we already discussed how Madden is trash,
Mm-hmm.
they hate, but you know what can you expect? I mean, they gave. I mean, look, I know Darius Slay isn't the best corner in the world, but they gave him an 89. That's just disrespect.
Yeah, it should have been at least 90 or 91.
Like, so, you know, like I said, they had Quandre Diggs at a 77 and Arthur at a 74, and Kennard and Jared Davis at a 72, Stafford at a 79. Like, I'm not having a conversation with you if Stafford is a 79 and Trubisky's a 75. So you telling me Stafford only 4 points better than Mitchell Trubisky?
No way.
Boy, I need to slap you all the way back to earth and reverse the spin rate.
Here's a little bit better for you. Matthew Stafford throwing power is a 94. He had the same throwing power as Aaron Rodgers. And Kirk Cousins throwing power is an 86. And what is his name? Mitchell Trubisky throwing power is an 83.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Crispy said you got a question, man. Crispy, what is your question?
Hit up some questions.
Ragnar probably will make the Pro Bowl, and Tracy Walker. You heard it here first.
Yeah, man, I definitely could see that. I'm going to say TJ Hawkinson has the ability to make the Pro Bowl, especially.
Yeah, I think TJ Hawkinson is going under the radar a bit. And like, we're not I mean, I know we just say he'll make the Pro Bowl, but like, I'm not expecting him to come and get 1,500 yards. But I just think, and I love Marvin Jones. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season. But I just think the second best receiver on this team is going to be TJ Hawkinson. That's just what I think. So I think he's gonna have a breakout year because of Marvin Jones and all the attention that he's gonna acquire, and because of Jesse James and Kerryon and Kenny Golladay, because of the space around you. All he gotta do is fit into a simple role and do his role. And what I say about Stafford, you catch the ball, he'll keep running to you.
I'm just so proud of you, J-Mo.
Yeah,
I'm just so proud of you because not too long ago, you was like, listen,
my gosh, Luke.
Can we not stop with this tight end? So we're not taking the tight end. It's not happening.
I mean, Luke, you would see a totally different J-Mo if Josh Allen was there and we ain't take him. But he wasn't there, so you got a good J-Mo.
Yeah.
A J-Mo that's all for TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
TJ, he's that special, man.
Dr. J-Mo and Mr. Hyde.
Oh yeah, I did a whole rant about now because I ain't want no freaking tight end, bro.
Hey man,
like, I was like, and you know, you heard it in the video, Luke. I'm like, yeah, I seen his blocking, I seen the footage, and he looked good. I know he do, but so
hey,
I wasn't a defensive player.
Evan said, I love the work that Danny Amendola has been putting in. Hey, MicroMike, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, I made a video about that, and to me, this is why we got the players we did in free agency. And it's not specifically, are they the most talented people? It's not, are they specifically the best person of their position in free agency? We got people like Amendola specifically for his veteran leadership, his ability to train these young guys on how to get to the next level, how to get into the playoffs, how to win the NFC North, how to win the big games, and how to get to a Super Bowl. He knows how to train and how to train hard, specifically in the offseason. So what he does? He gets with Matthew Stafford, and they train so they can get on the same page and start fast on offense this season. This is the reasons why we got these guys, folks. It's not all about the talent. It's not all about, the position of need. It's about what they bring off the field as well. It's about that hard work, that dedication, that extra mile you must go to win. We have to get the culture changed. These guys are going to help these young guys change that culture and finally win the NFC North and take the NFL by storm.
Yes. Yes.
Look, I mean, listen. Hey, y'all know me. I didn't want Danny Amendola because I'm like, I'm not trying to pay that man $6 million. Now they paid him just a little bit under that, but listen. If he get through 18 games, there was a successful signing. And you notice I said 18 games, right?
Yes.
That's right, because I'm expecting the Lions to really show up and show out.
Trox, what do you think, man?
Yeah.
What do you think about Amendola and the other free agents and what they bring to us?
I think they're going to be good, man. I trust Bob Quinn, so he can sign me off the streets. If he has faith in me, I'm going to give him my all.
Paycheck.
That's it.
Hey, I'll do it for free. He has faith in me.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That's facts. Man, CJ
all that money they make on the
actually
practice
gets no
squad.
love, man. It's a lot of players on this team that get no love.
Trev, finish your remark, man. Tell the people what you think the Amendola signing's about. Is about what he brings off the field as well, and same with the other free agents.
Yeah, I mean, real talk though. I know I was making a joke out of that, but I do feel like Bob Quinn brought these guys not really just for the regular season. He brought them in for the playoffs. Danny Amendola, what is his nickname? Danny Playoffs. Where has Trey Flowers been the last, 3-4 seasons? In the Super Bowl. These are guys that are proven winners. So, for him to go and go after these free agents, and if you want to go to Seattle and the Justin Coleman, oh, sorry about that, my thing fell off the table, but
my say you sleepy, Trav.
No, I'm not sleepy. We picked up these guys for the playoffs, and that's why I did say, if Bob Quinn picked him up, I trust in his decision to pick him up, because for one, they have a proven track record. As crazy as Seattle can be at times, they're still within striking distance of playoffs. Yeah. And with the guys from New England, obviously history in the Super Bowl. with Jesse James. You know, he has a history of making the playoffs and playing well. You know, that is what Bob Quinn wants. He wants winners on this team, and it doesn't matter where you came from. It matters what you have done. You know, this is a what do you call it? What have you done for me league? You know, and
lately,
you know, and these guys have been winners. You know, so I absolutely love these signings.
Yeah.
Noble.
Yeah.
What you got with it, man? What do you want to add to that?
With the free agent signings?
Yeah. Do you think the philosophy is to really teach the individuals on the Lions team how to take it to the next level? Do you agree or concur? Or sorry, do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I agree that some of these guys were brought in free agents wise to show some of these guys how to win. You know, when you're bringing in guys like Trey Flowers, who just coming off a Super Bowl victory, the number one thing is teaching these other guys how to win, how they saw success when they were on the Patriots, to being able to translate that over to the Lions, but doing it the Lions way, not doing it the Patriots way, but the Lions way. And I definitely think that every free agent on our team is going to be key and vital, especially to those that have been. I believe CJ Anderson has won. Didn't he win the Super Bowl too when he was on Denver?
Yeah, he should. He was the MVP. Well, he should have been the MVP if Von Miller wasn't.
Yeah, I think. CJ Anderson might have a Super Bowl ring too.
Of course.
So
yeah.
So yeah. I definitely think that these guys are going to come in. Danny Amendola, Justin Coleman, these guys that know the system, Rashawn, Melvin. I think these guys are going to be able to help out. And one of the biggest things is nobody's talking about him a lot, but I think he's going to be a factor too, and that's Jesse James.
Woo.
Jesse James is going. That's another target that we have, and he's going to be another weapon, man. That's why I say that this team this season is going to be a different team. Justin Coleman is going to be a different type of guy. What we had at the normal slot position, Justin Coleman is going to he's going to be able to come in and be vital for us. And the rest of those guys that came in as free agents, they're going to be vital. Those that came in, especially Trey Flowers, he's going to have to really, really show us. You know, he's going to have to earn his money in Detroit. You know, I know what he did with the Patriots, but he's going to have to come earn that money, because we want to see him at least get 10 sacks, at least.
I mean, I agree with you, but honestly, I'm not concerned. Only because they run the same system as the Patriots do, and our talent is better. Only thing that can happen is Trey Flowers getting injured. But like,
can we stop saying the I word? Say scars.
Yeah, I didn't even want. Hey, look, you see, I didn't even want to say it. I was kind of hesitant.
If we get scars, man, we're not saying the I word. Scars.
But I did want to say, I know we don't talk about him a lot, but Justin Coleman is really about to be if he made the Pro Bowl, I wouldn't be surprised.
#fax machine.
Because it's about, like I said, it's about, now he was around great talent in Seattle. Let's not get it twisted. But, over here, we have Matt Patricia. We have some guys in the system. And I just think we don't talk about him a lot, but he's going to be one of the biggest changes in the complexity of our defense. I'm so impressed with what he's been doing in Seattle. Like I said, I watched him in a few games where I didn't even necessarily know who he was, but I saw he was making plays. I think he's really, really, really going to thrive here. And I mean, when we first got all these veteran guys, the main reason I was so confident about the Lions, I told y'all a million times, we got all players that's ready for the playoffs. One thing about the Lions, when Stafford finally took us to the playoffs, everybody was choking except for Stafford. Stafford came in there and was balling, and nobody came with him. Mm-hmm. I seen it happen in 3 separate games. One game, his finger was broke, and he still was throwing perfect passes. And they kept dropping them, and Golden Tate over there choking by the sideline. Anquan Bolden, a veteran, getting penalty calls. Defense giving up 250 yards rushing. Like, but I'm just saying, that's not going to happen when you got a Trey Flowers there. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen when you got a Danny Amendola going to make that catch that Golden Tate dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the real question that he wanted to know, though, was the impact of the free agents. And for me, if you just go through and you start from the top to the bottom, you go out and you add Daryl Bevell, a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator and a coordinator who's had success in this league. You add Trey Flowers, a Super Bowl winning DN, Justin Coleman, a Super Bowl winning cornerback, Danny Amendola. I mean, you go through and you look through it. The first thing that jumped out to me was what's the fastest way to change the culture? Bring people in who are used to winning and get people who are used to losing out.
Absolutely.
And so he's completely changed the culture from that standpoint. And I do like the question that Boo posed. He said, does Flower really need 10 sacks to be considered successful? Not for me. He needs to be able to generate pressure.
We're not talking about him being successful. We just saying like earn your money.
Well, if he doesn't get 10 sacks, then that means everybody else got a lot of sacks because of him getting double teams.
Well, I just look at it like this, man.
That's the way that I would look at it.
But sometimes I look at it like this. There are certain players who have these factors that you can't put on the stat sheet, like Ndamukong Suh, Hakeem Hicks, when they can do enough to move you out of your spot. If he can generate that pressure, I'm good. Put the pressure out there. Give me some pressure that's sending him into another defender, and I'm good with that. So I want him to be able to touch the quarterback and touch him often. I want the quarterback to know that he's there. I want the defense to account for him because he's there. And I want them to feel it because he's there. So that's how I see it.
Hey, Luke, and just to piggyback off that, I want Trey Flowers to be able to smell the breath of the other quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I want him that close to them every single game because I know people keep talking about the pressures all the time. Pressures is cool, but getting a sack is good too. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I think sacks are overrated.
Is the reason why they got sacks.
But I think sacks are overrated though.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Van Noy and these other guys got a lot of sacks because of Trey Flowers.
But I'm saying I don't think that 10 sacks is, you know what I'm saying, is bad to put on somebody.
No, it's not. I'm just saying that. You remember last year, hold on, Lou. We had nobody on the outside. When I say nobody, literally nobody. We had Okavar and nobody. So when you add him to that, plus the regular pass rush we're going to have coming from the linebackers and coming from the middle, that will allow him to get more sacks as well because like he's coming to a situation where all we need, he can do a lot of things, but we just need him to rush. We didn't have any pass rush from that left side at all.
Right.
What up, though, C-Rad?
Oh, what's up, C-Rad? How you doing, man? If you guys haven't liked the video, make sure you like the video.
Yeah, I just look at it from this standpoint right here. I really feel about like, okay, so first of all, let me just say this. You talking to somebody who got his shot to play in college football because he can get to the quarterback. I mean, I had the sacks, I had the numbers, but what I realized was what was more important is they were so busy watching me. It was interesting to see how much attention I garnered. It's the same thing that Khalil Mack is bringing to the Bears. They put so much attention on him that you don't even see it come up on the stat sheet. But when he take off, it's like, God, please stop this guy. And that little subtle stop this guy is what makes that team better. So I want that. I want that.
Aaron Donald is probably the best in the league at that, man.
Hey,
it's a fear. It's a fear to it.
Hey guys, and another question that we can put out there on the table too, that I kind of heard in a report on Bleacher, they was talking about that the safety spot is not solely going to be Tracy Walker. So what do you guys think about that? They said that there's going to be competition for that spot alongside Quandre Diggs.
Yeah, I could see that. What up, Doe? Making all kinds of gains. Mackenzie, you just subbed to me, man. Hey, eat, sleep, lift, repeat.
Make sure you sub to all of us, man.
Yeah, sub to them all. And when it comes to that question, yeah, of course we want to see competition. They all are going to do competition. I want to see competition for every position except for quarterback. But I still think Tracy Walker won that game.
Hey, man, you don't want Tom Savage competing with Stafford?
No, I don't believe what Carlos Manure says that he's got the same arm strength or better.
Man, that's a joke. That's a joke, man. Madden got Tom Savage rated a 56 overall.
Well, MicroMike has got Tom Savage
like a high school quarterback.
overall.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
That's great. Yeah, that's great, man.
All right,
But,
hey, Travis.
Hey,
So
Don Burst,
what do y'all think?
listen. Don Burst says, Luke G, that's not what PFF said. Man, listen, don't get me. PFF had, I think, I can't even remember, but PFF had like Ezekiel Elliott rated 30th or something. I'm like, what? He led the league in rushing. Like, what
are you talking about?
They had Saquon Barkley behind Derrick Henry. I
don't. whoa. You know I like Derrick Henry, but they tripping.
Bro, they had Saquon Barkley behind Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, the number 2 running back according to Pro Football Focus, man.
Yes,
but they didn't.
But what was your question?
Yeah, the question was, you know what I'm saying? The Bleacher Report put it out there that Tracy Walker has not solely won the position.
Oh, yeah. So I think he'll get 70% of the time starting, and somebody else will get those other snaps. I don't think it's gonna be like a Glover Quinn where he's always there, but I think he'll get 70% of those snaps, and then the rest of the snaps will go to some other players because we are deep in the secondary. Quandre is gonna stay at strong safety.
Yeah, he's gonna be out there.
So he's gonna stay at strong safety the whole time.
Hey, listen, if we look up, man, we might get Tavon Wilson to be our free safety.
Yeah,
man, we look up. We might get what's his name, Will Harris. We might get Will Harris. You meant to say Will Harris. Might get Will Harris to be the free safety, or Adams.
Oh, Luke, man.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all turn on that notification bell.
Hey, but listen, Vast Starwind said, right, I'm subbing to all y'all with the bells notification. DSA is sick, too cool. Appreciate that. No, I'm just saying, man, listen, if you telling me Tracy Walker ain't making it, hey, we got that stud, man, that other stud, we can throw him out there. And
I don't got no other studs, bro.
Nah, man, listen, Tavon Wilson is a beast.
Like I said, I'd rather see somebody else back there, like a Will Harris or Adams. Or
hey, before we get into this, I have to say something. What up, though, to Bill Collier, folks? His daughter has, I believe it's a brain tumor. So if we all can put prayers for his daughter, Melissa.
Oh, wow, okay.
Man, we got to do that. He's a valued subscriber of mine, and his daughter is as well. So make sure that we put her in our prayers, and hopefully that she recovers and everything goes well.
I'm definitely praying for you, man. I got a lot of that. I got a lot of people, with brain tumors in my family. Like my family just got out of surgery because they had tumors on their spine. So I know how serious that is, man. I'm definitely praying for you, man.
Yeah, that's a serious thing.
Hey, we all want pride, man. We all want pride.
Absolutely.
We're all in this together, man. We do whatever we can to make sure that, especially you guys, the subscribers, we wish nothing but the best. You guys take your time out for us, so we definitely will take time out to pray for you.
Yeah. I mean, now D. Williams
Tracy Walker gonna be back there. Stop making jokes.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, bro. Listen. You know, I'm being sarcastic. It's like all get out. But I'm just saying, if the Bleacher Report and keep in mind, Kerryon Johnson don't respect the Bleacher Report. He's like, oh, these Bleacher Report fans, But I'm just saying, if you telling me Tracy Walker is not the starter, I'm telling you, then we should have drafted a safety in a second, like Taylor Rapp or something, because
I definitely think Tracy's gonna be the guy that's in there.
I saw somebody earlier say we should have took Adderley instead of Jelani Tavai. Now I like Adderley.
Like Adderley.
I like Adderley, but I love Jelani Tavai. I think he's a steal, man. So
yeah.
Man, so Travis, is there anything you'd like to add to this? I'd really like to hear your opinion.
Well, I think what do you call it? Bleacher Report, for one, is fake news. And that is why I went off on Brad Gagnon and your boy oh man, what is the safety's name? I just went blank.
What, Adams?
Walker?
Yeah, Tracy Walker, I'm sorry. He will be the starter.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of 3 safety sets, 6 defensive backs sometimes.
Absolutely. Just like what JMO was saying. They do 3 safety sets. They do different packages. So in a sense that I could see it like that, but I definitely see most going to Tracy Walker. The guy is a phenomenal player. I think he has a bright future. And for him to not get the majority of the snaps would seem fairly ridiculous to me. But
listen, Mike, you know we got a low-key star on our team. Don't disrespect him like that, man.
Hey.
I mean, what has he done besides lose his job to a slot corner who's on the bubble that year? I mean, come on, it's gonna be all right.
Oh, man.
In my best Jada Kiss voice, why?
So I did want to ask y'all one thing.
What's going on?
I know what the perception is right now, but and let's just assume Slay is here and everything's going well. Should Rashawn Melvin be our number 2 corner? Yeah. Like, I know what the perception of him is right now, but like, should he? Because I'm wondering, should he really be the guy?
Yeah, well, I do. I mean, I feel like Slay will be there. You got Melvin on the opposite side
because you know we put our system. We put the number 2 corner on the best receiver.
Yeah, he got to guard some of the best.
Like Slay will guard that elite receiver, but that's the way the Patriots run their defense. I don't like it at all. But
well, I sure don't want to put a rookie there. I don't want to put Tease Tabor there. Yeah. I don't want to put Mike Ford if he made the team there.
Only if Amani Warrior is like another.
We got some other corners. I can't remember none of their names though, but it was some other solid corners.
Yeah, none of them guys ain't gonna play.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If I thought, okay, so I was talking to Detroit Zone Big Will. Shout out to Detroit Zone Big Will. I was talking to him, and the first thing he said when we picked up Rashawn Melvin is he's gonna be our number 2. And I was like, no, man, I just don't see it, right? And then I got to looking at the system, and I got to look at the player, and I'm like, oh God, this guy's gonna be our number 2. Oh my God. And the truth is, I would rather see. I hope he pan out because I would rather see us put Amani Warrior in that slot and let Justin Coleman be the number 2, and go from there. But it's going to be an interesting season. I find it interesting.
You're gonna find out who that number 2 is.
Yeah, we're gonna learn today.
Yeah, because like I said, I know it sounds nice and it looks nice, but he's Rashawn Melvin. That's all I'm saying.
He's better than Tease Tabor. I think
Tease Tabor is a young guy. That's all I'm saying, man.
And I agree with George Morgan. He said Mike Ford played fine and press, man, and I think he did too. I really would love to see Tease Tabor go to safety. I feel like if Tease Tabor go to safety, y'all, I'm telling you, it'll be reinventing the wheel. I have a hard time believing if he went to safety, he wouldn't do well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
So it's been about 2 hours, folks, and I'd like to give the last words to the group really quick. So Troxel, while we are closing the show out, what is the last advice or last words you'd like to give out to the subscribers and the folks in the chat?
I'm working on a video, so stay tuned, fellas. It's gonna be. I'm feeling sorry for my table. I'm already gonna say a prayer for my table as well. But stay tuned for that because I will be probably pounding on the table during that video because it's gonna be a hot video. So stay tuned for that. Like my video, subscribe. I appreciate all you guys, and you guys have a blessed day.
Noble Sports, man, you're next. What do you got to say to the folks?
Man, what do I got to say to these nice people that's on here today in the chat? Well, pretty much, guys, I want to let you know, man, make sure you guys check out all the DSA channels. Make sure, because everybody brings their own perspective on the Detroit Lions, and you'll be able to get different guys' perspective. Make sure you subscribe to each and every one of those DSA members because each member of the DSA is very vital, and we're trying to have that grassroots movement be able to take over the Detroit area. So definitely, guys, make sure you subscribe. And I do have some more videos coming out on the Lions and as well as the Pistons. So get ready for those videos because they will be coming out. And also I talk sports, period. So whether it be the NBA or the NFL, check us out on Noble Sports Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe.
great one. Say something great to the folks.
I need to say, all right. I was gonna say something great. Hey, I was ready. But first of all, leave Trav alone, man. He out here in these streets, being our technician, helping everybody. I'm talking to you, Don Burr, getting all the information set up, man, holding it down for us in the city. I do have to say that when the whole Max Kellerman thing, we talked about it earlier for the guys who weren't around. Make sure you rewind back to that. We talked about that for a good while, but I do want to say my main takeaway from that whole segment, Matthew Stafford, underrated or overrated. Well, everyone at that table thinks he's a good quarterback, so I don't want to hear anything less than he's a good quarterback. You know, some people like to say he's trash and average. No. And he's a franchise quarterback, and he is underrated, and that is true. But you know, it's based on the team that's been around you. But all I gotta say is, we do Pistol Center Court every Wednesday. We had a great show yesterday, so make sure you check that out on Troxel Sports Talk channel. And I did drop a video on the whole situation with Max Kellerman and First Take and on Madden. So make sure y'all subscribe to 313 JMO so y'all can check that video. I know most of y'all checked out the video already. I know who I'm talking to. But for anybody else that listen to this later on, and last thing I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna say at the end of everyone, I'm gonna say, shout out to Kerryon Johnson. Thank you. You're the GOAT. And shout out Marvin Jones and your diss tracks. Thank you.
You're the GOAT.
Luke G, Field General. Shout out your orders to the folks.
Well, Mike, I love you, man. You awesome, man. First things first, man. Let me just go ahead and let y'all know, man. Y'all the real MVPs for being able to get him to his record high. I believe was it 72? Was it 72? I counted.
Yeah.
72 people watching, man. That's awesome. Appreciate y'all for that. Also, I want to thank y'all because I just officially hit 1,100 subscribers. So thank you so much for that. Finally hit the 1,100 mark. I appreciate that. Also, congrats. I had to do it. I got videos coming out about the Madden. I got videos coming out about the Max Kellerman and First Take response. And, you know, just for supporting the DSA, man, and rocking with us. Man, this thing is awesome, and like I said, we here with you, so you ain't got to go through it alone. With that being said, I leave you with this great piece of advice. Don't be no chump. Please do your research.
Folks, again, appreciate it from my perspective. You guys joining the chat, enjoying the ride, being one pride. Tomorrow, Subscriber Friday will be delayed to potentially 7 p.m. At 6 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be on JT Sports. And when I do Subscriber Friday, hopefully it's exactly 7 p.m. Eastern time, Dose of Dion is going to be on with me, and we're going to talk all Detroit Lions talk and sports, and we will answer any question that you guys got. With that, folks, adios.